So it looks like I accidentally deleted this part of the video because I cannot recover it anyway. You know how both on my camera and on my laptop and on my SIM card. But basically, this will be my book haul. So in this video, I'll be showing you most of the books that I got on my Kindle in the last little bit, and basically two physical books, which are currently on the pile somewhere, but those are Jujutsu Kaisen volumes 7 and 8, and in that series of following group of characters who are trying to fight curses with Jujutsu. And basically, I don't remember anymore what book I talked to you of on my Kindle, but I have after the ones, I'll just quickly mention all the ones that I have, and those are Sky's Shadow by Lisa Casey, Fence Volumes 1 through 6 by C.S. Packet, From These Dark Depths and For With These Last Breaths by Vanessa Rassanen, Fence Striking Distance and Fence Disarmed by Sarah Reese Brennan, I Wish You All the Best by Manser Endeavor, Running with Lions by Julian Winters, Autumn Rose by Abigail Gibbs, Broken Throne by Victoria Aveyard, Witch Curse and the Witchborn by Lisa Casey, Witch Wolf, Gift of Shadows, and Witch Child by Lisa Casey, Sword of Kaigen by Emily Wang, The Wolf Witch by Chandel Lavon, I believe, The Supernatural Companions by Megan Linsky and Alicia Radis, The Woven Mark by Megan Linsky, Shot on Net by J.J.M. Mulder, The Coven's Secret by Alicia Radis, Inheritance, Reclamation, Conviction, Ascendance, Solution, Here, Heir to a Curse, Recipe for a Curse, and The Reflection of a Curse, all by Lisa Casey, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, Sucked by Shadows by Marked by Shadows, and Possessed by Shadows, all by Lisa Casey, On the Right, Painting with Fire, and Arresting Right, and The Range of Emotion, all by Lisa Casey, Hidden Gem, Cardinal Sins, Candyland, Raising Gain, Conventional Shadows, Wish Minion, Penny's Carnival, and Gift of Shadows by Lisa Casey. And most of these books I had for years, mostly the back half, or basically most of Lisa Casey books I had for years. But as I don't remember which books I talked to you about in my last book haul, I just decided to tell you all of them. But yeah, so I'm back to this video. This time right after I got new books on my Kindle, so I can tell you all about them in this book haul. And sorry if this only comes out now, but I filmed the beginning of this video last week, and at the time we didn't know about this, but the Pope is dead, so if you're like a Catholic like me, I hope you're doing okay. The Pope Francis was literally Pope for most of my life. I was 9 when he was elected, and I'm 21 now. So This is the story I'm telling last couple of days since we found out he died. Basically, I remember when he was elected, and I don't know why I watched news that day. First of all, they said 9, and second of all, even now, 12 years later, I rarely watch news, but this was I guess a couple of days after he was elected, but basically he was going like checking out of the hotel where he was during the conclave election, and he was basically he wanted to pay for his home himself, but basically the protocol is usually the usually everything is paid for already for them, and he ended up like trying to pay. They didn't let him. So yeah, I hope you're okay, that everything is going great. One thing I can say is the only downside to it is that I never got to meet him. He's only a few years older than my grandma, actually, and for the last kind of 80 years, I want to go and be an American and maybe meet him, but now that's not going to happen. But let's go into the rest of. Let's go to talk about the books. So, first I got all of Hunger Games books. So the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, Sunrise on the Reaping, and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, all by Suzanne Collins. I never actually read the Hunger Games or watched the movies. I actually remember when Mockingjay Part 2, I think, came out in theaters, and I remember that the advertising for that being everywhere, and that put me off of reading the Hunger Games, because at that point I was extremely fed up with everything, and I actually enjoyed the Hunger Games for a really long time after that, even up until now. So then I got not this Kiss and Tell by, I'll just check the author in a second. I accidentally clicked on wrong thing. I got Kiss and Tell by Adib Horman, I believe that's how you pronounce it, but it's about a guy in a boy band, and then there's nothing else I know about that book. Then I got Raven and the Dove, the Hunter and the Mage, the Dragon and the Queen and the Godborn and the King, all by what's her name? Let me just check. I forgot the author's name. Well, this is by Caitlin Davis, and basically it's the Tristan and Isolde retelling, which are following two characters who meet and actually fall in love, but our female main character is uh, uh, engaged to the male main character's brother, and stuff goes from there. Then I got Incarnate, Ascender, and Infinite by Jody Meadows. This fantasy romance with which I forgot the premise of, but I read them back in 2019, and I genuinely don't remember what what the series is about. Then I also got the Once and Future Queen, the Once and Future series, and those are The Secret of the Star-Crossed, Curse of the Kells, and The Legend of the Lakes by, let me just check the author. I just, I'm really bad with names, so Clara O'Connor, and I only know that this series is about is a retelling of Celtic mythology, if I remember correctly, and that's it. I saw the first book on someone's YouTube channel back when it came out. Then I got Rubin Roth, Sapphire Blau, and Smaragd Grün by Kristen Gear, which is basically Ruby Red series, or Red Ruby series. I forgot how it's what the name is in English, but it's basically a series following this girl who can time travel, and it originally came out in German, and they actually got the German ebooks. Just because I'm trying to practice my German, I haven't in a while, and I'm starting to lose it more and more, so. And I decided, because I listened to the audiobooks in English, that actually this would be a good practice because I already know the story. Then I got The Shadow of What Was Lost, An Echo of the Things to Come, and The Light of All That Falls by James Islington. Which is high fantasy series, which which premise I forgot about, but I just know that I saw it somewhere and it sounded interesting. Then I got Red Winter, Dark Tempest, and Immortal Fire by let me just check who. As I said, I'm bad with names. And to one of my friends in college, I was like 3 months after starting, and what's your name again? Because I literally forgot. By Annette Marie, and this is about Emmy, who is supposed to be a host for a goddess to come down, who is about to come down for her tour, but she meets a kitsune who leads her basically away from her destiny. I'm actually, why I had to read that is refreshed memory, because I read that book and that series, and also the other one, which is extremely similar. So I always forget which one is which. Then I got Daughter, Smoke and Bone, The Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Ghosts and Monsters by Lani Taylor, which is about this girl who helps some kind of monsters, and she's um, an art student in Prague. And that's the only thing that I remember from the first book, which I read back in 2019, I believe, and never continued on with the series. This is actually quite a few of these are basically series that I either reread or started years ago and never finished, or the books that sounded interesting. Then we have the Hunter and the Rebel Witch by Kristen Cisorelli about the witch and the witch hunter who are fake dating each other because she wants to get some information from him, and he wants to get some information from her, so they just use each other. Then I got Murder Diaries by Martha Wells. I believe 7 books from that series, in which are following Murderbot, which is a security robot who has to be a security for space mission, but all that it wants to do is watch TV. I can blame it for it. I also want to do that. Then I got Shadow of the Fox, Soul of the Sword, and Night of the Dragon by oh my god, let me check. It always takes me a while to check. Julie Kagawa, and this is about half Kitsune Yumeko. I actually listen to these audiobooks really close together, and I always forget which one is which. Then I got the Thursday Murder Club, The Man Who Died Twice, The Bullet That Missed, and The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman. The only thing I know about this series is about a group of old people who meet together every Thursday and try to solve mysteries. And honestly, I want to know what it's about. Then I also got King's Rising by C.S. Packet, which is last book in her Captive Prince series, in which I'm following, which I actually don't know anything about. I didn't even start it. But then I got a couple of Ali Hazelwood's feminist romances, and those are Stuck With You and Love on the Brain. Yes, only those two. And those two. I also got The Summer Palace and the other stories by C.S. Pact, which are short stories in her Captive Prince series. Then I also got The Fine Print, Terms and Conditions, and The Final Offer, which are romances about these 3 brothers who have to get married to inherit this world's version of Disneyland, and the author is Lauren Asher. Yes, I had to check also that because I'm extremely bad with names. Check the story beforehand to see how bad I am with names. Then I got One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and One of Us is Back by Karen M. McManus, which starts with four students who were together in the detention, and one of their classmates who was with them there dies of what they think is anaphylactic shock, but and so they have to be questioned. Then I also got Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, Mitosis by Brandon Sanderson, Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, Firefight by Brandon Sanderson, and Calamity by Brandon Sanderson. Other than they all by Brandon Sanderson, I know nothing about them. Then I got Legendary, Finale, and Spectacular, all by Stephanie Carver, and those are books 2 and 3 in the Caraval series, and also novella in that series. And in this series we're following two sisters who go to this enchanted carnival called Caraval, which is, I'm pretty sure, a pretty fancy way of saying carnival anyway. Then I got Realmbreaker, Blade Breaker, and Fate Breaker, all by Victoria Aveyard. Also popular fantasy book books from the author of Red Queen, and I know nothing about these books. Actually, I knew what Realmbreaker was about at one point, but I forgot. Which tracks because even if with Marvel movies, I tend to wait a couple of years until a couple of them are out and then watch a bunch of them, because by the time the last one comes out, I forgot what happens in the first one. So I have a habit of spoiling myself and then just waiting until I forget the spoilers and then come back to something. It works. But let's go back to Past Me. This is it for this video. If you like, please like, share, and subscribe. Down below, my social media, email, and some other stuff. I'll see you next one.